Okay, next episode. Figuring out my setup still. Don't know how to use all this camera stuff and microphone stuff, but trying not to care about that because I just want to keep making these and studying character brands and mascots. Last time I sort of talked about an overall principles for mascots, right, and their roles, and I think in review of a lot of that, it seems all kind of silly, but I don't know. I'm just gonna keep forging ahead and trying to connect the dots, and at the end of it, I feel like hopefully there is a foundation and a basis for this that makes more sense, because I think a lot of the times I look at brands that are making mascots and I don't want to believe that it's just a trend, that there's some formula to it. But what I'm going to do today is read more from Counterprint's book, Mascot. Mascots in Contemporary Graphic Design, and I'm just gonna pick some of my favorites there and read about them and read about the studio and what they have to say about it, just so we can get a taste for different decisions that are being made. And so the first one I'm going to begin with is by Newspaper Club, by Studio D8, and their mascot for Newspaper Club, which is named Russell. It's like a paperboy mascot. Yeah, it's printed more than 10 million publications for everyone from students to photographers. They reached out to Studio D8 for their brand refresh, right? And it's kind of done in this style, this 1950s Mr. Peanut sort of look, kind of long and gangly and simplified face and nose that kind of I would say hint at that area. I'm pulling from D8's site here, but it says the new logo plays on classic newspaper masthead, supported by wood type inspired typography. Color palette is a celebration of newsprint, right? So they're all playing with this. And if you look at Russell, his cheeks and his clothing and some of those background elements are kind of in that CMYK color palette too. I would say a lot of his style probably leans nicely into being animated too. And there's a lot of, it feels like an icon, his hands feel like they could be icons or emojis in a set, how they use them across the brand too is pretty nice. Right there in the middle of Newspaper Club, the logo type is sort of like your running paper boy with his paper bag and his newspaper that he would throw at you. D8 have spent plenty of time with Russell, reimagining him in different outfits and scenarios that add a friendly face and inject some personality, right? Adding a friendly face and injecting personality. Is that not the common, reason behind a lot of this character brand trend that we see going on? Yeah, I really like this character a lot. I love how flat it is. I love that the legs are just kind of black shapes there. The next one is Gender Creative Kids, which is out of Canada. Since 2013, they've provided education, community resources, and services towards the affirmation of trans, non-binary, and gender creative youth among their families, schools, and society at large. In 2019, the board hired on Wedge Studio to assist in their rebrand. Montreal and Los Angeles. The project is rooted in values of human dignity, inclusivity, community, empathy, and joy, right? Design choices are intentional beyond aesthetics. White space is integrated as a key color, as it is in this undefinable space that we are able to freely discover who we are. Okay, and so an iconic character came to life as the symbol of the organization, inspired by the truest part of you, the heart. Standing tall and confident with a look of optimism, always moving forward. It's in these thoughtful details that Wedge arrives at a solution that can only be Gender Creative Kids, right? They have an article here from Creative Review. They settled on a cheerful-looking heart mascot with oversized legs. Oh yeah, that could inject the organization's identity with energy and optimism, right? A smiley face on there. According to Wedge, the GCKC community was instantly drawn to the motif, right? Happy client. It appears amongst a rainbow-colored palette. Definitely speaks to the audience. Studio said typeface was playful enough to work with its identity. I really love this identity. It is even simpler than a newspaper club's work, right? On immediate first glance, it feels like it is a paper cutout piece, like something that a kid would do out of construction paper, you know? I think what elevates it is, how it pairs nicely with this typeface that and this heart. I think what's nice about it too is it simplifies down into a basic shape so well, you know? It works well on their favicon, and it works well on, I'm sure, in small and large spaces because it's just a nice shape. It animates well too. There's not a lot of details to move around, and it instantly speaks, you know? It's a heart with legs. This is something very optimistic. I would say this is cuter maybe than Newspaper Club. Maybe as I look through these two, I'll try to establish them according to my principles, you know? This is definitely stylized. This is a shape-based mascot. In the, what is this, NGO space? The next one is Employment Hero. Done by Twist Studio. Employment Hero is an HR, payroll, and people management platform. In order to reposition them, Twist brought this hero to life, right? Their employment hero to life. And they did that through a character and kind of like an overall illustration aesthetic that they brought into the brand. Beautifully illustrated by Alec Doherty. They created a brand character as an advocate for better employment, personifying the mission and amplifying their message. A new graphic language distilled from the logo serves as dynamic framing element, while a direct brand voice challenges conventional notions about employment, right? I think there's something to say there too. This era of challenging conventional notions about these corporate spaces, right? We're speaking to millennials, Gen Zers, reshaping how these, you know, big tech giants, corporate giants are created by new voices and want to connect with them, I think, too. And so we see this illustration aesthetic, this hand-drawn style, a lot of texture involved here. This is pretty awesome. There's a light color palette that goes along with that, and just like an ink hand-drawn style. So you get to play with the shape language of the body and the torso, and then they add in the hands and the face and the feet with that black ink pen. Let's see if Twist has anything to say about it on their website. Existing brand felt generic and inconsistent, out of step with their ambition and momentum. They needed a clearer, more confident expression of who they were. We redefined their brand strategy identity from the ground up. At the heart of it all, the hero, a persona that captures the purpose and personality of the brand, bringing a more human voice to the business. We pair this with a modern, flexible visual system and a tone that feels direct, optimistic, and easy to connect with. Anytime they say they want a more human voice, that always just makes me think they want a human. They want a character. They want literally something there. Yeah, I really dig this like light purple lavender that they're working with. If we scroll around their site here, this is obviously a few years now since they've done this rebrand. So I don't know if this guy still exists, but there's definitely some icons around the page here. Oh, they have like a bunny thing. Mascot. Yes, so maybe this is an old rebrand. Maybe they've since rebranded. Oh yeah. Okay, if we go to their website, it is literally, there is a purple bunny. This is crazy. Okay. Yeah, so this is moved along into the next phase of their brand. This purple giant bunny. I wonder who did their rebrand. 2024. Oh gosh, that was just recently. I'm gonna move on to the next one, which is Extra Nice. Champions of creativity, making an identity for their new membership offering, a partnership. Love It's Nice That. Love Nicer Tuesdays. Is that what it is? It says here in Counterprint's book, It's Nice That developed the Extra Nice logo mark and website, while Animade took care of the visual assets across the brand, including character design and the core identity film. Yeah, character design. The character's simple, blocky shapes, big hands, and solid feet speak to its utility and generosity. They stand firm as a kind, supportive character, but they are also inquisitive and welcoming, and they love to express themselves and are, of course, utterly playful. Yeah, man. Yeah, this simplified body shape is kind of like a fun element to mascots that I like, where the body is, body and feet are almost half of it, and the head and arms are the other half. It's proportioned in a stylized way like that. There's so much expression that is done there too, just from those hands. They're so big, and the legs being blocked out like that is a nice feature, I feel like, too. That's a consistent idea here. Making those feet like cartoony flat feet, right? No shoes, no toes or anything, just like flat to the side. They use it interchangeably, the body, as like an icon. His head is on top of a set of binoculars, or on top of a gift, or on top of something that is within context for whatever they're needing it for. And then the face and the legs and the hands stay consistent. It's just a line. It's just black and white, bringing character into the extra nice identity. Champions of creativity, it's nice that we're prepared for a new membership offering called Extra Nice. The central character has been through a lot to get where they are. They were once a pillar, a wizard, an arch, a two-legged shooting star, and an elephantine shape before they reached the final friendly figure you see today. Yeah, you kind of see that here in Counterprint's book, all the different shapes. The simple, blocky shapes, big hands, and solid feet speak to the character's utility and generosity. A balance of design, function, and then humanity there. They stand firm as a kind, supportive character, but they are also inquisitive and welcoming. They love to express themselves. They're so kind. And they're utterly playful. Meet our creatively curious, extra nice mascot, created and brought to life by Animade. This was printed in November 2020, or posted in 2020. So we're a little behind again, but a character who jumps to life in new and unexpected ways across Extra Nice. If we feel it represents its nice that wholeheartedly. Eager, inquisitive, a tad silly, and helpfully informative. It's your buddy, right? It's our very own Microsoft Clippy. Over the past year, our creative team has been working alongside Animade to create this mascot. The task at hand presented a new challenge for the agency as a shift in how we think to design something for an identity. Designing a character that is more than something that is watched once through a video format. So adding it as an identity, not just a one-shot character, right? For a fun campaign. To start Animate's main task, so this is central to this part of the brand, right? It's not necessarily It's Nice That's brand, but just part of Extra Nice, but making it a foundational piece that can come back again. Final design is an amalgamation of initial ideas, a small sweet character with a block for its torso. This is a great piece. I definitely recommend going back and checking this out if you're interested. I guess something that I can go over here real quick with Extra Nice is I would say, yes, this is a stylized form. It's also shape-based, but has some character aspects to it in the hands and stuff. This is for the arts, right? Arts and culture, a creative platform. This is a modern era brand, not necessarily heritage. How cute is this? I don't know how cute it is. I think its attempt is to be cute. It's smiling at you. It has soft lines, big proportions. I don't know, giving a cuteness rating is kind of like subjective. You guys, someone tell me what you think on a scale of 1 to 5, how cute this is. I might give it a 3.